Welcome back for another hot tip. X here, ready to drop some more knowledge in your favorite game, Last War. So, I'm going to break down this into four categories. We're going to start with the season builds, gathering resources, leveling up your season builds, and building resistance. So, with that being said, let's jump into it. So as soon as you log into the game and you start season Polar Storm, we're going to go in here to your season 1. That's up here at the very top. Go ahead and select that, and then your week 1. So basically all the essentials for your week 1 are going to be right there. So this is where you're going to unlock your high heat furnace. So you're going to want to donate to that. Also your titanium alloy factory, donate to that. And whenever possible, donate to the Alliance Furnace. Make sure to do that periodically because it does help, and you also get some points from doing that. All right, once you did that, go ahead and go back to your base. We'll exit that. We'll go back to our base here. And then down at this little hammer, you're going to notice there are going to be some new builds that you're going to have to build out. Firstly, you'll get your high heat furnace. So you'll build that out first. Don't wait until build day. Just get that done. Just open it up because we are going to need it to start building resistance. All right. So once you have your high heat furnace done, we'll go ahead and build our titanium alloy factories. And once you have those two built out, then you're good. So that's how you unlock your season builds. Eventually, once you get to your high heat furnace up to level 30, you will unlock the other base, the tank base, aircraft base, and missile bases. So you got to get the high heat furnace up first. What I would do is, in order to unlock, the goal really here is to unlock all your season builds, which is your titanium alloy factories. The way you do that is by unlocking, by leveling it up to level 15. Now, in order to do that, we need to gather resources for it. And that resource for this is coal. In order to level up your high heat furnace, that will require more resources. So let's get into how do we acquire those resources? How do we gather them? Well, we go out to the world map. There's a few, well, let's go back to our base because there's another neat place that you can actually get this material from. And if you go into your tavern, you'll go ahead and see that you can get these new heroes. McGregor's unlocked. But you'll also notice this. You get coal and titanium. So if you're looking to round up as much resources as possible, maybe you're 1,000 or so away, maybe you just need a little bit more, you can also go and get it here. I used up all my tickets, so it's really important to get as much resistance built up in the early game. Now, another way you can gather resources is by hitting a Doom Elite. But you got to be careful because each Doom Elite actually carries a viral resistance. So if you see here, there's a suggested power as well as what's actually translated into damage. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But you want to do these first bloods because first rewards because you want to unlock coal. You get a significant amount of coal. You need that coal to level up your season buildings. You also get some titanium alloy, which also helps up build out your high heat furnace that helps build resistance. Another way you get resources is your polar zombies. So you have a tank one. I believe this one is missile. Oh, this one's aircraft, this one's tank, and this one's missile. So tanks do really well against this one, missiles do better against this one, and aircrafts do really well against the tank ones. So You only get 1,500 resources from this. Not that great, but it's still something. So let me go to my report so I can show you what a Doomwalker actually gets you, because you want to make sure you do your Doomwalker hits daily. You want to try to find the highest level possible Doomwalker. And the reason being is when you run the first one out of the day, you get a lot of resources. So you are better off asking in your alliance chat to see if anyone is available to help you with a Doomwalker, one that's higher level than you are capable of doing, in order to get resources that you need to continue building up those season builds. So as I'm scrolling down through here, I'm trying to look to see if I find any Doomwalker that I have hit. This is a day ago. Okay, so the reason why you want to do Doomwalkers at the highest level, even if you can't beat it, is because the resources are really too good to pass. And when you do that consistently, maybe let's just say you do a 130 and you only get 150,000 coal, whereas if you did one that I just did yesterday, it was a level 180. I got 200,000 coal. There it is. So 200,000 coal. That is 50,000 more coal. So you're going to want to reach out to your alliance chat to see if you could get help with that. So that's how you gather resources. There are going to be other ways to gather it, but right off the bat, right out the gun, this is what you want to do. So leveling up your season builds. All right, this is kind of a little neat trick that I found. Before you gather this titanium alloy, you want to be sure you want to gather it right away. And initially, yes, you do, to get your high heat furnace up, but that is if you are pushing. If you are not pushing your resistance, you are one of free-to-play spenders, and you are just wanting to level it up so you can be in. You can help out others slowly. Maybe they logged in a little bit later. You're gonna want to be like me, where we are slowly developing our resistance. So in order to maximize what we get out of this, we want to make sure that we allow this to at least cook for maybe 20 hours or so. The reason why you want to do that, because it allows you to gather resources while some of the stronger, more advanced players who already participated in getting the season battle pass, the weekly pass, and already are ahead of most of the group. They are going to be helping out with your first rewards. Now, I will get into that in a little bit on how you do and set up if you are just starting off and you're building resistance. But first and foremost, the way you do this to maximize your amount of output is you're going to want to rely on these people who are already developed. Now, say you are one of those people who are already developed and you are building out your resistance a lot higher to be a little bit ahead of the curve to help out with land captures and such once they open up. Is you're going to want to just collect as fast as possible. So you're probably going to already have all 4 of your builds unlocked and you have the season build up. So if you are a pay-to-play player, you're going to want to do all of these at level 15 before you start to do anything else. And then your season build, try not to level it up past level 10 because it is something that you will have to pay for in order to have. Rather, you are better off leveling up your season builds one at a time as you go all the way down the line until you get them all to level 30. Now, at the end of the season, once you have them all level 30, then go ahead and level up the other one just to give you a little bit more resources so you can continue building out, so you can continue building your high heat furnace and unlock those bases. But if you are a free-to-play player, let this build up over 24 hours before you collect. The reason is if you allow it to sit longer, each time you level it up, you actually increase it by 700. So every hour that it's been accumulating, it gets multiplied by that. So if you let it run for 10 hours, that's 7,200 additional titanium alloy that you could potentially collect. Now, you do the math, 20 hours, that's 14,400 additional. And if you level it up once or twice, that number starts to double. So if you are able to level it up 3 times, that's already a significant amount of resources that you didn't have to work for, just right off the bat, that you get to get. So that's potentially 50,000 alloy that you could potentially get to put into building up your resistance. So that's one way you can catch up to some of these pay-to-play people, is by doing just that little trick, is waiting until around reset when your resources have been gathering all day. That way you maximize the amount of output. So right here you can see that I'm already at 200,000 for this material. I'm waiting to see if I can level this up possibly 2 more times, maybe around reset, so that way I can level it up twice and potentially gain 24 hours of this resource doubled. So just think about that. 2 levels, that's 14,400. If you double that, that's 28,800 additional resources, and then I'll let that cook. And what that's going to mean, I'll be able to jump from this level a lot quicker. All right. Building resistance. This is the hot topic. How do we build resistance? We need our first rewards. So let's dive right into some of these. This is how we are going to want to set up our squads when we are building resistance. Our players who have a more developed resistance, they are going to be helping us out. So you're going to want to form a squad with just one single hero. Don't send a full squad, because what's going to happen? I only lost 45 troops. And if you were to imagine, if I ran 10 of these rallies where I'm burning up 45 troops each time, I'm going to be losing 450 troops. Now that might not seem like a lot, but let's just say if you ran a full rally, I'll show you an example of a full rally that was ran. So this guy ran a full rally and lost 230 troops. If you were to run 10 rallies and lose and burn up 230 troops, that's 2,300 troops that you're losing. And it can go by really quick. And if your drill grounds can only hold 20,000 after about, say 50 rallies, or even less, even after 20 rallies, that's a quarter of your troops gone. So just be careful in which rallies you're joining. If these higher resistance players are testing the waters to see where their capabilities lie, don't join it if you don't have the power, because these people are trying to test the waters. So you can see here, this player only has a march size of 1,830, probably doesn't have that much power. So yeah, so they joined, they only have 10 million in power. They're not really going to do much. Look, you can tell by the damage. But some of these other players that have a larger march size actually did something to this, but overall everybody failed because this particular zombie was higher, nearly double in their resistance capability. Here's an example of a player who needs to burn some troops. If you need to burn troops off your drill grounds, that's great, but you're going to do it eventually. So just kind of form your team to have the lowest amount of loss possible. And if you're looking to lose troops, this is a great way to do it. Just make sure you let your alliance members know that, hey, I'm losing troops here on purpose because I have a full drill grounds, yada, yada, yada. So this person over here is building their resistance up. They're losing 215 troops. So after 10 rallies, that's 2,150 troops that they're losing. So just keep in mind, These people who are at a higher resistance are helping, but they are also losing troops. So be mindful which rallies you join. If you are starting and building up your resistance, you are going to want to set up your heroes in a way that you will win. So let's see what this is about. Okay, that one we already saw. We already saw this one. We already saw this one. We already saw this one. All right, well, this is another example. You are going to want to set up, if you are starting off and building your resistance, you're going to want to set up your rallies in a way where you can allow people to actually join. This is an example of a person who set their rally for 1 minute expecting good results. First off, I wouldn't start with a full squad. I would only set up the single squad so you don't burn through as many troops in this during this process. Now, this player unfortunately wasn't able to cover the damage. They lost 230. And so you can imagine these people who are helping us out with building resistance, they are going to be sacrificing a lot. So just keep in mind when you're doing these rallies, make sure you do the following. Number 1, set up a squad with a single hero if you are building up resistance and you're starting with a level 1 all the way up to a level 10. The reason why you want to do that is because you'll minimize the amount of troops that you're actually going to lose, and you will also allow the people who are helping time to join your rallies, and as well as cover the amount of resistance required in order for us to be successful. So that will in turn lose less troops. So 2 5-minute rallies. You're going to want to set up a single hero and set the timer for 5 minutes and reach out into Alliance Chat. The same way you would reach out into Alliance Chat to get help with a 180, say, Doomwalker, or a higher level Doomwalker so you can gain those rewards daily. Same thing with the Doom Elites. Do not run rallies expecting people to join because they will not. As you can see, this one timed out. People joined in that rally and essentially lost. So the loss here is not significant. You can see nobody lost any troops as a result of joining, but the people who did lose are the people who started the rally and the people who came in to assist. So let's just be mindful about which rallies we are joining. If, for instance, this player over here was trying out the water to see if they can capitalize on this Doom Elite, but even if they had an additional player in with more significant power, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. But when a player that's definitely underpowered joins, it definitely takes the seat away for someone who could potentially help. So if you are starting off and your resistance is not that great, just do not join these higher level elites, especially if your Doom Elite level is significantly low. When a developed player is trying out something new, they would more than likely put it out in Alliance Chat. So you are going to want to be checking Alliance Chat to see if anyone is testing the waters, so you don't accidentally join and take up a seat where someone who can actually be helpful help these guys out. So those are the 4 things that I wanted to cover today. Is how to unlock these season builds. Also, gathering resources, how to do that. Leveling up your season builds, kind of a little hack where you can gain a little bit more material from each build as you go along, and how to build resistance like a pro. Please set those rallies for 5 minutes. Set one hero out to go, and please do not join a rally that you are not going to be able to assist with. Those are going to help us make the whole team better. So if you are entering into the polar expedition here, you are going to want to do that for your team. If you want to share this video with someone that's starting off in season 2, this is the best way that I have found to do the beginning of the season to start off. Another thing I forgot to mention is that you actually also get coal from your radar tasks. So As soon as the new season starts, do not send out your radar task until the season officially begins. You will potentially unlock more coal through there, and you'll also be greeted by visitors who bring coal with them. So there's plenty of ways to get the coal to get up your to level up your resistance. Don't you worry. One thing I would say, also the blizzard event that comes around, make sure to have that furnace set to auto, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we go back here to our base, and we'll go ahead and check our high heat furnace. It's the little flame symbol. You're gonna want to turn on these auto features where it turns on during the blizzard and it kicks it into overdrive, or it turns it off overdrive when it ends. So the reason why you want to do that is because when this is on overdrive, it burns out a lot of coal. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to leave this on overdrive. So you want to make sure to check those on. And once the blizzard's passed, please be sure to turn off your furnace, especially if you're on the outskirts, because you really don't need it on just yet. Same thing with your alliance furnace. We don't really need this guy on. If you are a R4, you have the power to turn this on and off. I would strongly encourage your teammates to donate to this. Oops, I guess I'm out of coal. The reason being is because you're going to want to stockpile. You don't want to turn this on every time a blizzard comes around. Those people who do not turn on or have the furnace on, or they run out of coal, they are just simply going to miss out on season rewards. And those seasonal rewards are coal. You also get violet shards. Let's see. Where did I see? Might be under season. Nope. Is it system? Let's see. Let's see if I could. Okay. So it's under the event page. You will see these rewards. You get 40,000 coal. You get 5 violet shards. You also get a resource chest and skill medals. So you only miss out on those rewards. So, and you only really get it if you have your furnace inside your base, your high heat furnace on. Many ways to get resources just by doing daily tasks, the battle pass. Just do it. This season's actually starting to become one of my favorites. There's going to be more stuff down the line that we can take advantage of, but just off the bat, that's how we all want to start off. Hopefully this is helpful, so you can be best prepared. Please drop any comments, any suggestions that I might have overlooked. But if you are starting off, please help out our team in watching this video. If you are starting the season off, please share with someone who may benefit from watching this video, because it is a lot of information to drop down, and it's very difficult a lot of the times to get your alliance to herd together and read all the messages. In most cases, it's better to have a video like this available so that you can consume a lot more information in a shorter amount of time. The dialogue that goes back and forth in writing text can be time consuming. And I spend a great deal of time trying to explain this to people, and it just takes forever. So I made this video specifically to kind of run through, do a speed run as far as what's necessary for our season builds, how to gather those resources, how to level up our bases, and how to build resistance like a pro. So remember, send a single hero out for 5 minutes, and make sure that you notify someone in chat, in your alliance chat, to help you out, someone who's already developed. And please do not join any rallies if you are not able to assist. So that means if your power is significantly lower, then you will not be able to help them out, especially if they're trying out a higher level Doom Elite. Just make sure to check the messages in game. Don't just join any rally willy-nilly. Just realize where your Doom Elite is and just do everybody a favor and just check to see if you're able to do it. This level 18, there's no way I'm going to do this. You know, this level 8, where damage dealt is reduced by 86%, I might be able to overpower this, right? But let's look at this. Let's just say this. Let's just say that I am fighting this level 18 or 16. Let's just say I'm fighting this 16, where this suggested power, let's just say it's 44 million. If my squad was a total of 40 million and only 0.1% of that is actually getting through, that means that only 400,000 of my total damage potential is actually going to hit. 400,000 is nowhere near 4 million. So please don't join rallies where your virus resistance is so low that it's not even going to make a difference if you join. You are only taking up a spot where someone else who could potentially help. That's it. You are basically taking up a spot where someone else could come in and help that rally. So if you are underpowered, let's just work within your means and build up your resistance, because at some point, if your resistance is high enough, if your power level is 10 million and your resistance is 37, you will be able to take this boss down, no problem. Same goes for this one. If your resistance is 41,000 and your power level, your squad power is 10 million, you will definitely be able to take care of this boss. So let me show you what that looks like before I let you go. So this level 6, my virus resistance is still lower, but only 40% of my overall power will get through. So that means is if my total power is 10 million, my squad power is 10 million, that means 5 million will still get through and will be enough to take this boss down. So just keep that in mind when you're joining rallies. Do everybody a favor, because what's going to happen if you join a rally and you take a seat where someone else could have potentially helped out, you burn out that entire rally. That's more than 200 troops a lot of the times that you end up wasting, and it's very frustrating when you see you're trying something new and people are putting out the message in Alliance chat like, hey, we're trying something new, please don't join this rally, and we still get those people to join the rallies, and then everybody burns and we all lose. So just keep that in mind when you're working towards building resistance. Is stay within your means. Read the temperature in the room, right? So just read what zombies you're joining, and try not to let your whole squad burn. So hopefully you found this helpful, and that about sums it up. If you need to burn through troops, go ahead and do that. Buster Day is arguably my favorite day, so I need to make sure that I have troops more than enough troops to battle on Buster Day. So we'll talk about Buster Day on another video. This one's specifically about raising your resistance. I am always excited about Buster Day. Buster Day is awesome. Everybody should participate in Buster Day, because if you are not, you are missing out on a critical part of the game. It's one of the most fun features. Way better than farming, way better than growing resistance. All this stuff is nuanced, but what's really fun is getting out there and expending your troops, testing out your hero powers, and really just having a great time. So I'm glad that Buster Day is all day long and you can participate at any time, but the most actionable time to be on is right at reset on the new day. So thank you guys for watching this, and hopefully I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield. Peace.